Hi, I'm John, and this is Dice Paper Miniatures. This is a segment pulled from my Twitch live stream, or what I call a live clip. These are typically segments pulled from the live stream that focuses on one specific topic from that live stream. And if you haven't yet, please consider subscribing to this page as well as hitting the notification bell. And then, if you want to see the entire live stream, I highly encourage you to also follow me on Twitch at Dice Paper Minis. Thank you so much. Now here is today's live clip. So we have, if you weren't aware of this yet, they just released the new Direchasm, which is like the third season, I believe. No, excuse me, fourth season of Warhammer Underworld. So originally it was Shadespire, which everyone called it Shadespire to begin with. Then we had Night Vault, then we had Beastgrave, and then the new box set for Direchasm just came in. I gotta be honest, I haven't even opened up my box yet to see what the new mechanics are for Direchasm. It's the holidays. So yeah. Anyways, we had this sneak preview, which we know now who this is affiliated with from today's preview, but we're pretending, we haven't talked about that yet. So when this model was previewed, I was like, yes, this is the kind of stuff I want to see from GW. When the new Direchasm box set came on, or was announced, it was like the Lumineth, basically the High Elves of the Age of Sigmar setting. I like those, but they're not my favorite warband. I can understand why people would like them. I can understand, visually there's a lot of cool things going on. I'll give it that. And I appreciate the design and the aesthetics of them. But that being said, while I appreciate those aesthetics, they're just not necessarily my favorite. Even back in like Warhammer Fantasy, I wasn't really a High Elves player, so yeah. But undead, vampires, zombies, skeletons, yeah, that's cool for me. So I assume this was something along the lines. I didn't know if it'd be necessarily I knew it's a part of Death's warband, of course, right? But I didn't know for sure how they would, if it would be just a subset or if they're going to flesh this out. So this model is rad. If you haven't seen this yet in the last couple days, there's a lot of memes going on about how, she whips her cutlass around and chops all her hair off. But I really do like the depth that's built here with the layering of the hair over the sword. It has a lot of character. It's just it's a simple stance, but even its simplicity, I think it's a really strong design. And they did a great job. There was an earlier one where there was like a redhead with like bats holding up the hair. You should probably find that one as well. I didn't do that for tonight's stream, but Vince Ventrella, and I want to say it's their Wednesday night live stream on YouTube. They talked about that particular model, and I agreed with everything they said. I think it's Vincent. Is it? Gosh, I should know. Is it Adam? That's not Adam. Anyways, I can't believe I can't remember his partner's name. But when those guys do their stream on Wednesdays, they were talking about this other model that was perfect, I thought, as well, except for the way the bats were holding up the hair. But this doesn't suffer any of that. This is just a really strong pose, which I really dig. Yeah. Leading back into the why I have mixed feelings on Direchasm so far. So I mentioned I wasn't necessarily super fond of the Lumineth models in the new box set, which we can probably see. Let's go to box games, and we'll go to Warhammer Underworlds here, and we'll just do all. So in the new box for Direchasm, you have the elves, the high elves, and then you have basically It's the new Slanesh models, Slanesh warband. Again, these are amazing models. It just goes back to what aesthetic do you like, and to some extent, I kind of like what's going on with their champion model and this kind of beastigore ish. I'm not sure what the technical. It's just, obviously it's a Slanesh mutated beastman, but I'm not sure if there's a specific name for that model. I like it, and I definitely like the champion. The other two models, they work. I don't want to use the term filler models, but I feel like there's always, whether it's in the starter sets or the expansions, there's models. I mean, they're good from a design and aesthetic standpoint, but I feel like they're a little bit of a filler in the grand scheme of things. And going back to the elves, again, solid model, but this aesthetic of whether it's the cow or bull horns or other wildlife ornamentation, it's consistent and it's well done. I'm not sure how I feel about it. I think over time I'll dig it. This model, it's not bad. It's fine, but I'm not excited about it, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And this one, this is the, again, the leader champion, if you will, of the warband. It's got some good elements, of course, but it just doesn't. It's just an aesthetic doesn't quite grab me. So when this box set was released, obviously because I like Warhammer Underworlds and I wanted the other, like the neutral cards. If you're familiar with the game, of course. I'm making some assumptions here. There's a lot of reasons to buy this particular box set, but going back to this roadmap, I've discussed in previous live streams, this warband here. It's a chaos, obviously, warband, and I would say most of its models are solid. All right, so that being said, I did find this one, of course, the Slan one. While I like the chameleon-esque, looking model with the blow dart, the blow gun, blow dart, that's cool. There's character, there's personality in that. And if you're into the Slan, again, it's kind of like if you're into the elves. If you're into the elves, you'll probably like the high elves. If you're into the Slan, you'll probably dig these models. But I'm going to end up getting this box set just for some of the neutral cards. I'm not a huge Slan fan to begin with. And that shouldn't matter to anyone else, of course. But, I'm just talking about what appeals to me. So that's where I'm coming from. I felt like so far the chaos was pretty cool, but there was it's like the two sisters, and they're okay aesthetically, but I feel like the other models in the expansion speak more to me aesthetically. That just the look, the design of them, I like a little bit more. But and then I saw the preview for the Slan, and I was like, oof, what's gonna, I hope there's something that really appeals to me. Now, that being said, coming full circle, the Crimson Court, which we will be talking about here shortly, they previewed all the models from this expansion, and in fact, we'll jump to that here right now. In fact, we'll play this video. I gotta kill this audio on it. This warband is for me, it's spot on. Aesthetically, everything is dialed in. There's no filler models. Every model feels amazing in their own way. sorry about having to kill the sound. If I put this over onto YouTube as a live clip, they get kind of mean about that stuff for some reason. They'll hit it with the copyright on the music. Potentially. So, kind of want to avoid that. So then, of course, we have the actual models themselves. You know, their Dracula-esque model is amazing. Like, everything about this model, I can't say enough good things about. It's so cool. Yeah. I saw some jokes online about it looks like he rolled up his sleeves. You know, it's like plate mail. I don't think he quite rolled up his sleeves. He just has his sleeves, not, you know, no gauntlets. But I dig, kind of has this Nosferatu aesthetic. It's, again, another spot on. I'm just kind of looking at yeah, there's a consistency. There's deviation, of course, in the armor design, but there's also consistency as well. They all feel like they're part of a cohesive unit, which I really like. But at the same time, they all feel like very defined character models. Like I said, I don't feel like there's any filler models or just your generic troop model. And that can be said for most of the Warhammer Underworld stuff, to be fair. But this particular expansion just hits it out of the park for me across like every level. And I feel like the painting team that worked on these were also like equally inspired. I think they did a really great job. Like that red is a great red. It doesn't go like orange, so to speak. It doesn't kind of get like weird brown. It's just it's a perfect red. Hers kind of goes into more of a magenta, almost a violet color. Yeah. Perfect. Okay. So that's kind of goes hand in hand with this roadmap, even though we didn't know that at the time in this roadmap. This is pretty much, as far as I'm concerned, it's obvious. It's another orc. Yeah, it's the savage orcs. Yep, just savage orcs. Not the R boys. So that's what I believe this particular faction or warband will be. I'm pretty sure, like 99.9% sure. And then these are the Ossiarch Bonarchs, I believe is what these will be. And then I believe this is the I believe they're Daughters of Cain. I think that's what that icon is. So, a Daughters of Cain. So that'll be cool. So overall, I believe these were actually supposed to be out this month in January, but everything just keeps kind of getting nudged back. If you weren't aware, the release schedule for GW used to be once a week. Now it's every other week. So they kind of talk about that here. Previous to this roadmap, these guys were allegedly coming out in January, but that's not the case right now. And then that puts us into March, April, May. What's interesting, both of these are supposed to come out in May. I'll be curious if that really happens, but we'll find out. But overall, I'm pretty excited. This will be another warband, the Orc warband. I'm really, really curious to see what they look like. I'm not a huge the Ossiarch Bone Reaper fan, but they're not bad. It's just, again, that's kind of an aesthetic of like you either love it or I wouldn't necessarily say you hate it. Yeah, the Ossiarch Bone Reapers. They're just kind of like the Age of Sigmar version aesthetically of like Necrons, and if you love Necrons, and you want to play Age of Sigmar, you might like this warband. But I give them credit; it's different, and obviously it's super well done. But again, just not necessarily a warband or faction that I find super excited about. But again, I'll probably get the expansion because of the cards, the neutral cards. Same way with the Daughters of Cain. So overall, this has the potential, even though I felt I wasn't it was a little bit of a whiff with the new release, for as far as the two armies or war bands included in the box set, but I feel like it could really be a really good overall season, and hopefully get a chance to play more in stores here.